comes.
Good afternoon, Mzansi. It's finally that time for your favorite SciTech entertainment show on the television, proudly brought to you by the SABC Education, only here on SABC 1, Mzansi for sure.
Now njalo nje hlala sibona ama-structures all around us kusukela kwizindlu, ama-hospitals kanye ney'kolo futhi nama-shopping centers. All of these structures need to have some kind of support to keep them standing. Otherwise ngeke nje siwatrust ukuthi hayibo kwelinye ilanga yokawe phela.
Njalo kanye. Now scientists and engineers have developed many ways for us to do this, and we call these processes stabilizing, reinforcing and strengthening structures. Quite a mouthful, and sure. Don't you worry, because we'll be going through these one by one in the show to help you understand what it's all about.
And the best way to learn is by example. That's why we are going to visit one of the most amazing bridges, Alana Mzansi, and watch how teens compete for their ultimate title in bridge building.
Remember, get to keep your eyes on the telly and your fingers on social media, because it's full
line up.
Find out how structures can be stabilized or reinforced. Now, bridges can become legacies and urban connectors. Discover the amazing science behind the legendary Cable Stayed Bridge in Mzansi. It's challenge time when we visit a bridge building competition to see whose creation can hold up the most weight. We'll also be looking at the ins and outs of strengthening structures, see which apps and websites you can use to build your very own bridge or do scientific experiments. Find out which career can help you excel in the construction field. Topic when you break it into separate pieces, it sounds much simpler.
That's what we did when we asked Mzansi aswenike bona ukuthi bethini.
Ujaswam?
Ngiyafila njani?
Ogran?
Yes.
Omnati?
Yeah.
Okay, what does it mean by it's stabilizing a structure? How do you stabilize a structure?
When we say a structure is stabilized, it means that a structure is stable, rigid. I think when a structure is stabilized, I think it's rigid.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, by supporting it with objects so that it becomes rigid.
Okay, cool.
Making it in a triangular shape, yeah, because that emphasizes it's very rigid.
Yeah, I think they used a lot of metallic materials. Yeah, by using rigid materials, using the correct foundation to build a bridge. Yeah.
Do you know of any cool bridges in Mzansi?
Mandela Bridge.
Mandela Bridge.
A bridge.
Mandela Bridge.
Oh wow! I want you to look at the camera now. Shout out to TOMZ.
Shout out to TO.
These structures consist of different parts that are arranged in a specific way. Now, in order for them to be able to be stable and safe, they need to undergo some adjustments.
Lokhu ke by stabilizing, reinforcing or strengthening the structure. This usually means that something must be added in order to make the structure more safer and more useful.
Inshallah, Kanye, although we can give you a good overview of these techniques, there are many out there that you can explore and even test for yourself. Engineers stabilize structures to keep them from falling over. These structures can be balanced around their center of gravity, which is the place where the weight is evenly dispersed and all the sides are in balance, like the middle of a seesaw. Engineers can also use ground anchors, which secure structures to the ground and protect them from forces like strong winds, or make sure that the base is big enough to support the rest of the structure. To reinforce or stiffen a structure, engineers use struts and ties. Struts are extra pieces that are put together to support the structure. Ties act as connectors that withstand tension forces.
Of course, easy ngempela ku-understand lama concept lawa uma siwabona in real life.
Inshallah, now Mzansi Africa has some of the most incredible bridges. Sesahamba ke sayobona one of the most mind-blowing ones to learn more about structures.
Check it out.
Igama lami ngu-Trevor Muzikayise Ngumalo. Ngifunde civil engineering university, qualifier. Ngisebenza ngemigwaqo nama bridges. Nelson Mandela Bridge in the background is one of the projects that I worked on in the early stages when I came back to South Africa after working in the UK for a while. Designing the Nelson Mandela Bridge was inspired by international bridges. Umasipala walapha eJoburg bebefuna a landmark, something which would make a statement about Johannesburg, and would also make a statement ngobaba wethu uBaba Mandela. The principles involved in the design were basically cable staying, which is to hold the bridge deck up in the air and make sure it doesn't fall down with the loading. Before siqala ukwakha bridge or any other structure, a building, into yokuqala is ground investigation with a machine that drills and brings out samples, and each geotechnical engineer then looks at those, decides the type of foundation esoyenza. Ziningi izinto esifanele thina ama-designer sicabange ngazo. Into edictate le design yalapha yi-physical conditions. Kuyabona ukuthi kune railway lines. Ama-support in the middle between the trains wouldn't work because besophazamisa i-train. And then the cable stay bridge is the only obvious choice engasebenzisi i-support ngaphansi. Uyabona lama column amhlophe la ayaphezulu akwe ngensimbi and sifake i-concrete ngaphakathi ukuthi zibe strong, and from there we attach cables. Where do you see the cables coming down? There's inside ngaphakathi kwalama cable kunama strands enziwe ngewire. Each strand is got about 16 wires, and those cables are connected kulezi ezisezantsi ezimhlophe to the bridge deck to hold it up and support it. So they are connected in this way so that they can support the bridge. Siqale first with the steel beams. They go across the bridge deck, and then we connect the two beams, one on each side, with more steel beams connecting across the bridge. In between the ones that are connecting now, sifake ama-concrete planks so that we can walk on top of the bridge during construction without affecting the trains underneath. And then sifake steel reinforcement, and we built then poured concrete to form a concrete deck that's about 300 millimeters thick, and then safaka asphalt on top of that. I think Nelson Mandela Bridge had to stand out. Bekungafanele ukuthi ifane nezinye structures as around. So by standing out and being bold, even the lights you can see when it lights up, by light especially, and that's the attraction. It fits in by being a contrast.
Now, what's a landmark in our also beautiful city as Indoni China, sinenhlanhla to have the Nelson Mandela Bridge.
Ngoba nje ke sithi shelele kancane itoto ke emva kwetolo, we get a glimpse of the future bridge builders of Mzansi ungayindawo.
Kasibuya ke, we see who can build the most stable bridge and find out how engineers strengthen it. Don't miss it, ungayindawo. Mzansi Africa ubukele i-TOMZ, brought to you by the SABC Education abaqulunqinkqubo bethu right here on SABC 1 Mzansi for sure.
Namhlanje sanoqonda ufuqufuqulo ukuthi sifuneke banzi about the critical parts of structures that keep them from tumbling down. Sesibonile ukuthi ama structures can be stabilized and reinforced, and we've also got some really cool methods for this to happen.
Kokile ixesha to find out who the future bridge builders of South Africa are going to be and how construction professionals actually strengthen structures to make them safe for use. Kwaye ke wena apha, did you know about Mzansi Africa udinga more qualified engineers to keep up with economic growth? Yonke ke lento starts with good maths and science on a school level.
Ukuthi sibasize ke labafundi to get some exposure to the wonderful world of civil engineering. An annual bridge building competition is held to see who can build the most stable bridge in a short amount of time.
Injalo kanye ke sesihamba sayothetha with some of the contestants to find out where their bridge for building savvy comes from and to see them in action.
Check it out.
Casa Kubang Machinette, and we just touched down at St. Albans College as we join as new goal as they continue with the bridge building competition. So you ready? Let's go. How are you doing, sir?
Fine, sir.
Good. Welcome to TOMZ. Okay, cool. So tell us about the SAICI bridge building competition.
Basically what it's about, it's taking kids from your various schools and they're giving them a certain amount of materials, and then they have to design a basic bridge. They could have done research beforehand, they had all the information beforehand, and then they construct it within a certain parameters. So it needs to be a certain size, and it needs to be able to support the structure, functional. It needs to be functional.
So tell us, what do you do?
I am a civil technician, currently at AECOM, employed there, and for this competition, we just the judge on the aesthetics, like I said again, how it looks, and the general neatness of the workmanship of the kids and how they did it.
Okay, cool. So what were you guys looking for exactly?
Okay, on the criteria now, there was basically shape and form. Basically, is what they build kind of functional in the real world? It's great having an idea, but it needs to be functional. For instance, if you build a straight section, like there was one, a straight panel, it's not going to last. Yeah. But as soon as you put an arch in it, that gives it a lot more strength than something that's just normal straight structural supports.
So I mean, it's a competition. After, do you tell them, do you give them advice on their bridges?
From the aspect, we can give them an idea, and that's what we also looked at and said, listen, this is the practical thing, it will work. And then if they a little bit overcompensated on some areas, put too much material in, because you have to also, when you design it, you have to look in and say, listen, if I actually want to build this as a full scale, is it going to be cost effective? So we look at that also and say, listen, it's unnecessary, you guys can maybe change this a bit here. And then we would look at the workmanship. How did the kids finish it off? In the rules, there was clear specification, your spaces should be this side. How did they adhere to that? Did they actually go and take attentive attention on that and say, listen, yes, that's accepted.
There's a lot of children who participate in this.
Yes.
Do you think it has an impact to future engineers?
This is something that can say, listen, I'm enjoying this. So he walks down the street tomorrow and say, listen, I want to try doing that on a bigger scale. I did that yesterday for fun, but how about I do that for professionally? And I mean, from that they can say, listen, I really enjoy this, and maybe go study engineer or
Siphathwa Machinette bafethu namhlanje sikhuluma nge-stabilizing, reinforcement and strengthening structures. We're in a bridge competition sikhuluma nabantu abasitshela ukuthi kahle kahle bona bayenza kanjani into yabo. How are you, Budwam?
I'm good, Njani.
Grand?
Yes.
Umnandi?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about your bridge. What kind of bridge are you building?
Oh, okay. We're building a thrust bridge, which is normally used on for railway lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
What type of material are you going to be using for this bridge?
We're going to be using wood, glue, and clamps and pegs to keep everything in place.
Okay, cool. So did you decide on the bridge that you're doing?
Yeah, we decided on the bridge that we're doing. We designed it ourselves.
Okay, why a railway bridge?
Because it just looks complicated, and then it's a challenge.
So you chose the bridge because it looks complicated?
Yeah, and yeah.
Okay. What's up, guys?
It's going good, eh?
You guys good?
Yeah.
Cool. Tell me about your bridge.
Okay, well, so this is truss bridge.
Okay.
We designed it on the day, basically.
Okay. What's a truss bridge?
A truss bridge is basically a normal design bridge with all these trusses, as you can see in the center, supporting the outside layer that's actually carrying the weight.
Okay.
So that's basically it.
Okay, cool. Why did you choose the truss bridge?
Well, truss bridge is for wood because wood is best under tension, not compression. A truss bridge, a lot of the pieces are in tension. Therefore, the wood can carry more weight, more efficient.
Okay, cool. So you think your bridge is strong enough to carry anything?
Anything up to 70 kilograms about.
Okay, cool. So tell me about your material. What did you use?
Okay, good. So the material is normal 4x4 by 600 millimeter piece of wood. Glued 2-piece epoxy. And then just to design a piece of paper and a pen.
Oh, that's it?
Yep, simple.
There are 4 main functions of structures. One is to contain something, to keep what's inside from spilling all over the place and to keep it separate from other things. Another is to protect something, in a shell of iqanda, so that the insides don't get all mashed up. The third reason would be to support something or hold it up. A roof truss is a good example because it keeps the roof up and makes sure it doesn't come tumbling down. And the last one is to span between objects in order to connect them. Cinga bridge, it crosses over from one side to the other to allow people or cars to move over it. Ukhumbule kuba i-frames are structures ezinika shape and support to all its parts. Buildings, bicycle, and pieces of furniture all have frame structures, and the methods we mentioned can be used to support them.
Now, some of these for yourself. You can follow what is called the design process. First, you investigate what is required, then you design a solution, build your design, and of course, evaluate how well it works and communicate your findings.
Injalo kanye, xa sibuya ke we'll get a glimpse of some crazy historic events as articles azifundisa about the importance of supporting structures. We dig into the history of structures worldwide. We find some apps to help us learn more and get great career advice.
Sesibuyile-ke bafethu sabhekelele i-Teenagers on a Mission, proudly sponsored by SABC Education. Khona la ku-SABC One Mzansi for sure.
Namhlanje we are finding out about the techniques as it is to gcina structures from falling apart, and we have seen how structures can be stabilized, reinforced, and strengthened.
Now, kwi-segment yokugcina-ke isikhathi ukuthi sithole kabanzi about where some of the tech comes from and find some really cool apps that will help you build a bridge of your very own.
Nangona ke abantu have been building structures for thousands of iminyaka. Some of the technology that developed took quite a while to become common practice.
It's now easier than ever to share information and new developments in construction, helping us preserve our environment. Check it out.
The earliest known use of a truss is on an Egyptian ship that sailed in the Red Sea in 1250 BC. It took more than 1,000 years for the use of trusses to become common practice. In 1173, the construction of the Leaning Tower of Pisa began. When they got to Ifloyes Mini, the tower began to sink because it was built in the weak soil and its foundation was just too small. Engineers had to remove soil in order to make it straighten up. Scaffolding is a good example of a supported structure and has been used for more than 2,000 years. More recently, advances in concrete technology have improved the material so much that it made the world's tallest building, being the Burj Khalifa, possible. Researchers have also been able to replace the steel reinforcement inside concrete with a carbon fiber grid, making it more resistant to damage and using less concrete to build, thereby helping to save the environment. South Africa, recycled polystyrene is now being used as a building material, taking a load off landfill sites and making sure we don't waste what we can use. So these game apps and websites out there to learn more about structures by doing fun games. It might inspire you towards a career in the building industry.
In 2014, there were more than 420,000 people employed in the South African construction industry. That is a huge amount.
For those of you who are itching to try it out for yourself, check out these apps.
With the Bridge Architect Lite app, you'll have a range of building elements to choose from and also some technical know-how when the app shows you where the biggest loads in the bridge are. When successful, you can get to see your bridge in action too. How about that? And if you rather take a wider approach, try out the building game app. Lana uzokwakhela towers by using crane to move your building blocks. It claims to have real physics, so you'll be the judge of that. And for Nina They're very serious with your own engineering projects. www.homeschoolscientist.com and click a link that says Experiments Engineering. Lapho nizothola a gold mine of 100 engineering projects that you can try out at home and show off your results to your friend. Khona manje, do it now.
Welders can operate equipment to join metal parts together using intense heat. They can also operate other machinery related to welding.
Welders are cool for our construction industry because they do special work that require training. Without welders, we won't be able to build steel structures, which form a big part of our building industry.
Zininzi indawo that offer training for welders. Check out the South African Institute of Welding website for the courses that they offer. To become a welder, you will need to have an appropriate physical health, sound mental capability, and good hand-eye coordination. There are many different levels of training, and you can build up your career by completing each and leveling up with the experience. They have intakes at different times of the year. After the sufficient training, you can even become an international welder and work in any country, or a weld inspector that makes sure that the work is of good quality. If you're a patient, have an eye for detail, and are good with your hands, this could be a very rewarding career.
It could be perfect for someone who likes working with tools and equipment, especially some guys I know.
But just in case you're not inspired enough just yet, when it comes to careers.
civil engineering is a career ofanele ufunde science, ufunde mathematics ngaphezulu kwezinye subjects. Kufanele ube strong kuzo zonke both those subjects. Is career high school education is important, and then from there ngohamba uye technicon or uye a university. The degree courses akhona stata mhlambe between 3 and 4 years depending on the institution.
If you're considering this professionally, you must maths and science, very important at school. You can carry on to going to study at any technical university if you do well in those subjects. And kids, if you're considering this as a career, maths and science in school, very important. You can go study engineering at any technical university in South Africa. There's various ones and there's all good. And it's just not civil engineering, which is my area. And then in varsity, there's quite wide ranges of expertise that you can go to, and even professionally. There's architecture, there's engineering, the sky is the limit when it comes to this. Thank you.
Yes, bafethu sifike kuleso sikhathi la sikhuluma khona nawe lapho kuma social sessions wethu ku Facebook na ku Twitter sikuthi wena ukuthi you throughout sinithatha mbonge namhlanje siphethe ba
Ku Twitter sino @r_matlatle uthi lo number tonight ngiyazibona getting into this industry and succeeding, and yazi ntoni, I think I've just met my dream career. #decision made.
Wow, ayisangibongela una dope fresh ngoba udope futhi fresh yathanda ukuthi ubukele iTOMZ every day all day. This is the best science and technology show, and of course siyajabula ukuthi sisi-inspireile phela ukuthi ungene kule career path osuyikhethile. Uma befuna ufana nodope fresh bengasitholaphi?
Ku Facebook bethinani singu TOMZ, and then ku Twitter siyafumaneka @toms_SABC_1. Wena bekhaya keep tweeting.
Exciting news, Toms fans! This season, we launch with the Toms T-shirt design competition.
Competition? Did you see I just say competition? Now what you must do is you must design a super cool image. And the image must have something to do with the science and technology. Science, technology, Toms, yes. Yeah. Then what you do is you upload it, or rather you share it on our Facebook page.
Yeah, but it's my favorite now. The picture that gets most likes on our Facebook page here, it's also printed on the Toms T-shirt.
Not only on Facebook, yeah, but on Twitter as well. When you can comment, then who knows, we might be delivering a t-shirt here. Gelisha, we have reached the end of our show. September, you guys enjoyed learning about things that stabilize, reinforce, and strengthen structures as much as we did.
We look forward to seeing you next time to answer the questions and comments you've posted on my social media pages way too.
Keep strong, Zanzi. Cheers.
Next time on TOMZ,
we uncover a list of material processing.
Talk about how some of your plastic products are made. Join us as we bust the plastic myth.
Excited yet? Then we're going to TOMZ. And see me as soon as SABC1. So, say for sure.